on this side of the university parcel. And it's tucked away. You almost cannot see it from the end.
Oh, I think that, yeah. That's the old way.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's not, that's all right. I just had my glasses.
Trustee Jenkins. I talked to her, that's why I'm on the phone with her. I told her the meeting was. She said she'd be in a minute.
It was on there. All right.
What you talking about, trustee?
Yeah, we're talking about trustees.
Understand,
some people don't read.
Trustee Boogie, you get down.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. She may pull one of my movies, come in with the day before the anthem, like she a hockey player or something.
See the button, the last trade thing?
It was a trade. I just told Karen.
Some of that, it was like.
They rebuilding without saying it's a rebuilding.
They still can make the playoffs this year.
They will. I mean, listen, they tied for second for Green Bay at 3-5. And Green Bay got shellacked on Sunday night football.
They still can do it. They still can do it. I mean, I told Karen, I said, all they needed was a #1 receiver. Moon. You should do fine, you know.
And we're gonna protect them. Meeting is now called to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee Lewis. Present. Trustee Franklin.
Present.
Trustee Poe. Trustee McFadden.
Present.
Trustee Jenkins Bell. Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Mayor Rodriguez.
Here, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
We strike today. We strike.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any public comment? Someone keep time. Oh, Deputy Stroud. Public comment.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, those present, those viewing. Happy November, everyone. Mayor, may I ask, once these resolutions pass, will notification be provided to the residents of Abbott and Amherst as to?
I would believe that would be my suggestion and the suggestion of the Board of Trustees, so we'll give the manager the task of informing the residents of Abbott and Amherst of the proposed project.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Everyone have a great evening. Be safe.
So that's the plan. You as well. Thank you so much, Mrs. Stroud. Okay, for the correction, Ms. Stroud.
Thank you. You heard my mom.
Yes. Discussion agenda, item E1A, resolution authorizing and wait, let's start over. E1A, resolution authorizing and approving an agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for the Abbott and Amherst Lane reconstruction renovation projects. Is there a motion?
So
Lewis and vote. Thank you, Madam Clerk. You got the job here. Roll call, Madam.
Question.
Question, yes, sir, trustee.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'm very glad that we have Abbott and Amherst on this agenda. And I'm assuming we're doing this early because next week is polling booth Sunday, right? So, yeah. So my attention will be directed towards Ms. Scott today, just to ask. I will never vote no for a road project for the village. That's a fact. Because even some negative campaign mailing came out and said Theo Brooks voted no for Farmview. That's a lie. I voted yes. The concern was fiscal responsibility. I went through the bidding, and I'm very glad how this turned out. The bidding, there was no problems with the bidding and so forth. My biggest concern is, do we have the funding to do this now? The reason why I say this is because I know for a fact that around November, April, this village runs out of money. I called in earlier, but you all were busy. I just wanted to know, did we have the money in the bank? Because the engineers, I remember, I remember we paid them 200-some thousand for this way back. Our former village manager said that we normally do the construction April to November. I know it's campaign season. My biggest concern is we did not budget this, Madam Village Manager. So I would like to get an answer from you. We have the money to do this before moving forward, and I see that it's about 179,000 that I see. And ironically, this is, according to that memo, this is the same company who did Farmview in previous projects that we had done. So I yield my time to you for this moment to get those answers if we could. I really appreciate it.
Okay, yes. So we are going to be using MFT funds specifically for that.
Okay.
And that money has been segregated.
Can't hear you, honey.
MFT.
We're using MFT funds and that money has been segregated.
And if I'm not mistaken, we haven't even used the MFT funds this year. Am I correct?
No, we have not.
That's what I thought, according to what I saw with the bank statement. Okay. You have my time?
I wanted to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Chance answer, because I want to pull it up. In response to a resident, we already have the sheet ready. This
Okay.
is for notification for the residents that we're going to put out this week in anticipation of that.
Okay.
The only thing I haven't put in is the exact date.
Okay.
But this is the mop for the notification, and we're going to go door to door and make sure this is delivered.
Okay. Now let me ask this. Well, the engineer is not here to answer that question, but they probably would have to do it before. Like I said, I know when it comes to cold weather. Did I read it right? They're grading off first.
Yeah.
It's somewhat the same way that we did farming, right? They need that. Okay.
Yeah, I thought they would dig it first.
Dig first and then dump.
Yeah, they're going to have 2 days of milling, which is essentially the scraping process, and then 2 days of resurfacing.
Okay, great. I yield my time for this, Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Shirley.
Is that for both streets?
Yes.
It's for both streets, yes.
Yes, it's for both streets. And also, mention of the notice, we had also discussed that we're going to put out big signs indicating when the project is going to start. And it's like progress as we go along. So the signs are going to be out on Amherst. They're going to be out on Adams. Also, I just want you to know that I sat in on all the bid openings. So I was there to looking at the bids as well, because now that's my forte. I can bids because I did it in the city of Chicago, so that I can do. So, yeah, we're gonna put as much communication out as we can, and also, like, Leah said, we had that money already set, that's what we're going to be using it for.
All right, thank you very much, trustee. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis, both sides. Trustee Franklin, both sides. Trustee Rose, both sides. Trustee McFadden, both sides. Trustee Michelle,
Both sides.
trustee Brooks,
Both sides.
Mayor Bridges.
Both sides.
Mr. Mayor, that resolution on 2022.
Item item 29. E1B, resolution authorizing and approving an agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for tree removal and disposal in various areas in the village. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis, second by McFadden. Questions?
You know me by now, huh?
You
You don't want to get fined for singing over there, right? Look here, this would be directed again towards Ms. Scott. Where would these funds come from? Because this is where I got a little confused on what is it that we're trying to accomplish, because I thought I seen DPW out there cutting already. So what would these be? And the leaves are falling off the tree. So do they know which tree, or are they gonna go back to the list that was already pre-marked by the previous public works director? I guess he had about 71, and then prior to that, I think Trustee Wilson and the previous 2 village managers before that, it was about 150 trees. So I don't know if that list had landed in your hand yet, since we keep passing to village managers like the popcorn. But if you can answer that for me, I'll know the facts.
So we did have trees, a little bit of a discrepancy. So Matt ended up going back out with Donnie, with the foreman, a couple other people, and also with Antero Group. And we cut the tree, we actually did a count of the trees. Also, Matt was able to cut some of the trees. He also cut some additional trees. So you see him cutting somewhere now. What happened was they got backlogged with work orders, and because they're short-staffed, they sometimes would have to leave, but that tree list was already completed of the trees that they were able to cut. So
Okay.
those trees are not included in this, and it will not affect the RFP that was put out, because when I had him go back through the trees, I said, you need to determine which ones you can cut, because we have to move forward with the RFP process. So he was able to determine which trees were cut. I was told there were another 5 trees that got cut, I think within the past week and a half. So, but those trees were already kind of segregated in our own list, so that won't affect this RFP that's out.
Okay,
And we are able to use some MFT funds for these trees, because of the fact that some of the trees are on Abbott and Amherst.
okay. If you don't mind, can you just like send me a balance of what we got at MFT? If I'm not mistaken, for what I remember, I know we don't need to say it publicly, but I know it's for what we're doing now is within that cost of
Yes,
the
sir.
MFT, so.
And I'll send the entire board the tabulation of the amount of money that's there
Thank you.
to the penny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Matt have cut one tree across the street, with me that's been there for a while, they cut it to twenty.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did a great job.
Trustee, also trustee Jenkins Bell.
Ms. Maxine Scott, I wanted to know if you could send a list of the trees that are gonna be cut down.
Yes,
Where they
ma'am.
are. Yes, because there's 2 and not, no, 3. One on the bus stop for the children.
Have all your trees been cut down on your,
No.
okay, can you please follow up with me tomorrow, and I'll relay that to Matt. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Are they? Ms. Scott, this slipped my mind, stump, are they gonna grind the stumps, right behind me on Clover? I know DPW cut a tree, but it was so ugly. It's inevitable, my neighbors behind me is gonna say, Theo, when is the village gonna get to it? But is this company gonna do, grind it up to like we used to?
I did
The
speak with
DPW.
them today, and they both said they have the capacity, and they're prepared to grind the tree stumps.
Okay,
But if you send me that exact address, I'll follow up on that and make sure it gets done.
thank you, thank you.
I have a, go ahead, Madam Clerk.
As a matter of fact,
you please use the mic? We can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, we'll understand.
In the.
That's the way you do it. I have to
The
talk
bid
out.
packet itself, board indicated.
And she still doesn't talk in.
Oh, you mean that was in the, yeah, but you know, you want to make sure it's on record, Madam Clerk, or you ain't trustee Brooks if you don't do it, right? But you don't have to put it in, because I'm not voting no, so you don't put that in the minutes. I know, just teasing.
One quick question, Mr. Scott. Some of the residents were wondering if some of the trees that were cut down could be used for firewood.
Yes, yes, so, they did discuss that with me. They did mention, that they would be willing to cut the firewood and provide it for free for, the residents of University Park. And also, it's also eco-friendly and it's, you know, it's good for the residents.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask a question?
No, ma'am. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee Franklin.
Both sides.
Trustee Bolden.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor Rivera.
Both sides.
Mr. Mayor.
One second. Wait.
That's R, resolution R 2022-30.
Yes, can it be told, if the tree removal has already been, you all have already stated that you're gonna do that, can we know?
Yeah, we'll,
I'm not
can hear you.
I don't wanna have to, excuse me. Here's what we don't need to do. We don't need to chase after the information. If we're having a meeting, you guys have already decided to cut the trees. Can't you just tell us what trees, to make my job a little bit easier, you know, as in the village. I like to be able to come and see video. That's just me, so that we can bring that information out. But just to say the trees are gonna be cut, and there's 192, last time I checked, then I don't have to run around and try to.
Okay, well, she's preparing a list. I'm quite sure to share with you guys. No problem
Can she
whatsoever.
share that now?
She doesn't have it right now to share. No,
So the
trustee.
So, doing this tree cutting, project has been thoroughly thought out.
All right. Go ahead, trustee Shirley.
I just got a question too. Trees that, but just halfway, are they going back to cut those all the way down as well?
Yes, ma'am, they will be cutting those down.
Okay.
All right.
My question wasn't answered.
Item F1C,
My question wasn't
a
answered.
resolution approving and authorizing execution
My
of an
question
amendment to
wasn't
the economic incentive agreement by and between the Village of University Park and Terrible -OM Real Estate Partners, University Park. Is there a motion?
So,
Moved by Lewis, second by Bowden. Questions? Go ahead, trustee Bowden.
So I got this agreement at 12:06 today. Madam Clerk did advise that she was going to send me supporting documents. I felt pleased. The mayor had little dialogue with me for the first time in a minute about this. But it's not gonna make me relax all the way here, because business is business for the taxpayer dollars. I'm gonna tell you why I'm upset. I'll tell you what. Mayor, may I ask Terrico Group to step up about how did we get to this incentive?
Before you ask them to come up, could I say something? About these agreements?
if you.
I yield my time.
If you're talking to Mike, that would be wonderful.
Mr. Brooks and the board, I think you will notice I sent two separate emails. One had previous agreement. That was for you to compare with the amended agreement. First one was the agreement that's on for consideration tonight. The second one I sent was for your purview, so that you could look at what had been previously passed. So just so you could compare the change.
Okay. Terco Group, I know we are in a economy, they want to call it a recession. At the Village of University Park, we passed the ordinance back in July of, you know about the hotel tax? You read my mind. And I talked to the mayor. I just want to know for plot B and C. And it looks like you all had removed the hotel for it. There is no way, and I see what we giving you, 13 million? Did I read that right? Somebody took it, 18. Yeah, if you can do that. Did Kathy order this? Did Kathy Orr help out with this? That was the first thing I wanted to know. Because something like this, I don't mind negotiating something if it came to the cap. No, this is a special meeting. This is for it, the actual thing that's been. Did Kathy Orr work on this too?
Michael Costello will be able to do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on, so yeah.
Okay. So if I can just get that answer.
He's concerned about this second partial not having a thought of the hotel because he wants to ensure that when we finish phase one, that the hotel doesn't go bye-bye. And I told Trustee Brooks, if he brings anything outside of that, then we can say bye-bye. Well, it's in our court, and I guess my understanding from Mr. Wander is that the market is kind of low now, that they're concentrated on phase one. And that's all I can remember, that they would come back and revisit. And I'm not quite sure that the hotel was taken off of the table. I don't think that was the case.
No, I think that that's accurate. I think that we have an approval on the phase one to do the trial center, and we're committed to start construction on that next spring. And phase two, we continue to market that space. We're looking forward to hopefully being able to be commercial there. And that would otherwise be a hotel, and there will be some restaurants. That's what we have approval for today. To the extent that any of that changes, we have to come back to you guys for approval in the future.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Dan Wander, one of the principals of Terco OM Real Estate.
So Dan, let me say this. I'm kind of flipping through both agreements. I just want to put out a point. One fact, I'm here to 2025 and two other trustees too. So whatever you say, you know, we're gonna hold your feet to the fire, right?
I understand.
Okay, you can relax. I'm not coming after you tonight. Tonight's the World Series. All right. I think everyone knows my position. This is not Dan. My position is this, is that I understand we have an election next week, so this facility would be used, so it would not be in the cow. I thought that maybe this would be a good discussion to come to the cow, but then it's not much of a discussion. I did not have time to process this. I just asked in the future. Just hopefully there's nothing between now and April. But in the future, could we respectfully, you know, I was not at home, and Madam Clerk, this is one thing I know. She gets information when they get it to her. Madam Clerk don't hold a damn thing over the weekend. This was posted over the weekend, and I would like to have, something to process in my mind. Because once again, this is still 7, but I'm not gonna get blood pressure up. Not tonight, but right is right. We need to make sure that when we have these big deals, and if there's something that we're gonna change in it, I would like a bigger window than 4 hours, please. Yeah, you know, I think we all have had a discussion. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, we should, you know, if this came in on Friday, you probably got a different response out, you know? Yeah, right, so, okay?
What's the change?
The commitments of, and actually, let me look back here. Let the village manager answer for the, no, I really wanted to hear from the attorney.
Yeah, let Mr. Marco.
If George is high.
I did not put together.
I can explain, it's really not very complicated. So on our, what's the equivalent of the commercial part of the development? We have as part of our site plan an A and a B section. The A section is the travel center, and the B section is to be determined that we're thinking at this point we're approved for commercial. Since the A part is gonna come first, we bifurcated the $5 million so that only the portion that's going towards that part of the project, you guys will be incentivizing. Until such time as we do phase 2, on the B section, we're not receiving any money on that part of it.
All right, thank you. Well, you finished with them or you
No, I'm just counting the dollars of what he just said. The investment. And Madam Clerk, if I'm not mistaken, the first one is the one that,
Being considered tonight. That's
okay,
so you could see.
those millions do look smaller. I'm not, you see, I'm not proud, that's better.
A lot smaller.
I yield my time, man, I'm not gonna hold up the meeting.
All right. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis, both sides, trustee Franklin, trustee Mosley, trustee McFadden, both sides, trustee Jenkins Bell. Trustee Jenkins Bell. Trustee Brooks,
Votes no.
Mayor.
Both sides.
Mr. Mayor, that passes the next resolution on 2022.
All right. There are motions to adjourn?
So
Moved by Lewis, second by Brooks. All in favor? Opposed? None. Thank you guys for your attention and your promise to deal with this matter. Sorry for the short notice, but progress will move forward. Thank you.
no,
Have a good night.
no meeting till.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
No, I got this.
You sure?
No.